ever host a major international win. And not only that, but their top laner, Xiaohu, may well be the first player that I can recall, maybe in history, in League of Legends, to win a major international event on 2 different roles. They still have to play the finals on Sunday, obviously, but they are 2-1 up in this series, poised to make it 3.
Yeah, and I feel like a big thing about Xiaohu that a lot of people might not know or realize is that Xiaohu is the only player off the top of my head who role swapped while he was still in his prime at his main role. He was still a top 5 mid laner in the LPL when he decided to switch over to top lane this split. So definitely will be a huge accolade for him and something well-deserved if RNG can pull it out. But definitely have to start here with PSG. We see a lot of the same bans, and you know, we're going to go back to what we've known. It's still going to be the Udyr for River.
Yep, and because the Renekton ban seems to constantly be going onto the red side, it allows the Lee Sin ban to come through on PSG. I really do think top lane has been the most consistent determining factor in this series. Sure, there have been snowbally bot lanes, that has been relevant, but Xiaohu on Lee Sin has been unmatched. Hanabi's gotten very little health, and he's lost his entire turret to just the 1v1 in almost every single game. Only when he's had a strong counterpick, like when the Gnar was into the mid Sylas, and then that became the side lane matchup, was Xiaohu ever neutralized.
So maybe this is the adaptation by RNG, right? When they had the Lee Sin, they're playing the neutralized bot lane, they go with the Braum, everything's fine, you know Xiaohu will pop off. Now you don't get the Lee Sin, you lost last time on red, so you get Ming back on the Nautilus, and you look for the volatile 2v2. You have confidence that Gala and Ming can pull it out, and I wouldn't be surprised to see Doggo go back towards his Tristana. Again, seems like he really favors the range, and then the early game snowballing, something you've been hitting on quite a little bit. Yep. So, you know, I feel like you're fine with this trade. We assume on the side of RNG, they'll probably go with the Kai'Sa after PSG decides to pick up what I would assume would be their support here. Leona would be the first thing that would come to mind, but they are hovering this rel. Does give obviously some strong team fighting. Not the same amount of lane prowess, though.
Not the same amount of lane prowess, and most players have fallen off of rel. You can see her win rate at MSI, 38%. Yeah, okay, that's a very low sample, but virtually every player, every team across the world has fallen off of rel. The ones I've talked to have said after the nerfs, she's just not strong enough anymore, and you don't play her. But Thresh and Nautilus were the only supports off the table, and Kaiwing says, look, it's make or break. We are going home if we do not win this and the next game. Rel is the pick for me. Both teams pick the jungler, both teams pick their entire bot lane.
Also, you know, going into next phase, you expect RNG to just blind pick their mid laner and get a good matchup for Xiaohu, which when we've seen how Xiaohu's been doing in this series so far, I definitely think seems like a good plan. He's been doing really good, even in just the isolated laning phase before he gets any resources. And we know Cryan's champion pool. He's going to pick up something like an Orianna. He's going to pick up something like a Victor, and he's going to be fine. He's going to farm up. He's going to try to be a threat later in team fights. So I wonder if PSG are going to opt into taking either of those away. But so far seems like the Nocturne coming out, which we need to remember is a flex pick for RNG. Cryan has played it this tournament.
Yes, he has, and he's going to be pretty good at it overall. Waiting to see now what actually comes through, though, in this draft. Of course, Hanabi doesn't get the Nocturne that he played over in Game 1. I think they're really trying to force a Gnar pick here so they can get Gnar Sylas back up. I really think that matchup is amazing. Even if it's not what you play pre-6, you do it in the side lanes. I think Maple on split push has been really effective. If you can't get Sylas here, even like an Akali or something, because again, you know Cryan's not going to really win lane against you. You can kind of get out there and still make it work. So I want to see what comes through, but they've got to pick. Are you going to... I would actually blind pick for mid, by the way. I would just grab Orianna and make sure you like your top lane matchup, but they say no. Gnar's the hover, and it's going to be locked in. I would instantly grab Sylas here.
Yeah, I wonder if they feel comfortable going with something like a blind pick Sylas. But like you said, right? Cryan's not really going to punish you, and you can just go with the GP into the Gnar. It's a matchup that we've seen many times over the year. So he does fine in the early game. You can just kind of survive in lane, get a bit of harass off with your Q. So it has been a go-to for him. But surprise, they are going to go back to the Sylas. But I still think the GP stands. I still think it's a champion you can go back to. There's not too many champions left up that are actually good into Gnar with both the Nocturne and Jace banned out.
Yeah, you can just play Gangplank and farm on your turret, you know, spam Qs, last hit around. The Gnar might have to go fleet for sustained because you can kind of get poked out. We'll see if that actually happens, but it's a consideration. and we'll see what the mid lane pick's going to be afterwards. I think GP is almost certainly getting locked in, and last time around in this draft, it was Victor, and it was honestly Maple who had lane control, who built TP advantage, and he used that to dive bot lane and get the game ahead. We'll see if anything is different here for Cryan.
I mean, I feel like it's going to be Victor or Orianna, right? It's been his go-tos this whole tournament. Yeah. Does decide to go with the Orianna. So once again, RNG have a very strong 5v5 team comp in a very traditional sense. There's a bit of dive potential there with your Kai'Sa, a much more volatile bot lane this time around. So that is what we want to see. But Maple on the Sylas freak, you got what you asked for.
It is what I want. I think honestly, Sylas is a better Mega Gnar than Gnar, because Gnar is only Mega Gnar sometimes, and not always when you want it. It's a bit unpredictable. Maple is like, am I in a team fight? I pressed R on Gnar. I'm ready to kill your backline. And it's really simple. It's really strong. GP can be there to help. The ulti is obviously guaranteed. If he's got the barrel chain, you're actually one-shotting the backline. I absolutely love Sylas Gnar. This needs to happen more often because Gnar is so popular, and Sylas really does ruin it. We'll see, hopefully, again, the mid-game lineup between the two, because it should be Maple favorite there as well. Because all I want to see is Game 5. Again, I don't care who wins. I just want to see Silver Scrapes, and that means I want to see PSG Talon win this one and bring us to 2-2.
And you know, the thing is, right, this is the comp they can do it with. Can PSG Talon break the curse of the PCS, of their LMS forefathers of, hey, can we get past the first round of an international event or the first round of playoffs?
Sure. I mean, either way, it's the first BO5 round. You get out of groups so often. Maple almost always has done it at MSI. The one times Flash Wolves failed to make top 4 MSI was when Maple was over in the LPL, but he's come back, and once again, they're up here against some of his old competition, up against RNG, and it's ready to go yet again. And now we get to see where everyone postures up. River, I like this. He feigns like he went for the standard trinket ward onto the red buff, but he doesn't. He's going to wait. He's probably going to drop it in this brush as the recall times out, and then switch to a trinket.
Yeah, you're right. Actually, a very deceptive mind game as well. With, you know, again, Wei assuming that his red buff's warded, not going to know that's in River. So, going to see if PSG can get any kind of deceptive vision out from that one. But, you know, again, we've already hit on this in Champ Select, but we have a GP on the map. We actually have a bot lane matchup where you can contest, you can look for the engage, and that's where I expect all of our jungle attention to go towards.
Yeah, I think we should see a party in the bot lane constantly. One undersold part of Rel is she does have shield breaking on the kit, both Kai'Sa and the Nautilus. And hey, to be fair, Orianna as well. They all shield, so she is going to get some extra value out of that Q. Kaiwing is, as long as he can land the skill shot, going to feel good. Keep in mind, also steals resist, so there's anti-aftershock synergy. You know, Rel does have a lot going for her in this matchup. If there's a game to play it, she's got some counter pick sort of power here. So watch for the Qs, watch for the passive autos. Q triggers the passive as well, so can be reasonable here. But Hanabi has managed to get his passive, his thing stacked up. There is the Q, and it is still Halo Blades for Xiaohu, but those trades are not always going to be that long. Nice anchor comes in, decent damage. Kaiwing does not re-engage.
Yeah, so we already see PSG's bot lane going to respect the fact that RNG's bot lane will for sure hit level 2 first. You know, even though we have our eyes on bot lane, and this is Ming on our screen, so I feel like I got to pace myself for any engages. Yeah. I do find it really interesting that Xiaohu did go back towards that Halo Blades. I wouldn't have been surprised if we saw something like you said, where either a fleet footwork or maybe even trying to go grasp for grasp, with the fact that that also does give a bit of tankiness and sustain for the matchup. But no, having full confidence that he can go aggressive against this Gangplank. We've already seen Gangplank level 1 can trade very well with the parlay. If he can get up and proc his passive as well, he's going to just come out full on ahead. But, ooh, I'm kind of surprised. Ming just kind of checking on what
it was a leashless start, right? So they didn't know for sure. He bypassed everywhere they were put down, so they didn't know for sure which way River started. He walks up, says, okay, red is gone. I don't see him. River definitely went bot to top. Hey, by the way, Xiaohu, Udyr's on your side of the map. Be careful with your health bar, be careful with your Gnar bar. And that means also Wei should feel safe to go for bottom scuttle.
And it's just the small things like that, right, that make the difference between, like, good supports and great supports. Yeah. Knowing that he can, you know, get out of lane, Gala will be fine. Sure, it does look like he had to back off of some CS as he is a little bit down. The wave is going to come into him, though, as that will even out. And Cryan this time around doing a good job, slow building up a wave. Wonder if he's going to try and deny Maple under turret, or if he wanted to go for a reset, but does look like he's going to try to punish this matchup to the fullest, which is good, because last time we saw Maple on Sylas, they found an early kill on the Cryan, and it was Prio City for PSG.
Yes, and it's the reason they won that game, and it was the most one-sided game. I would say Game 2 is more one-sided than Game 3, honestly, because at least PSG fought back a little bit over there. But this time around, Cryan off of a good laning phase, builds a CS lead, forces Maple to TP early on. Last time he got back to lane on Silas, he had boots in this build as well. So Maple definitely in a much weaker spot without teleport to make a side lane play. Very big difference from what happened in Game 2. That is going to set a lot of a different tone for how this early game is going to play out.
Yeah, and we already see the bot lane shenanigans like we were talking about. Nice word coming out from Ming, though. Going to spot out River. And Wei actually going to change it up, going to head towards his top side. Does have his golems up there. Potentially can look for something on GP, but of course GP does have orange, so can be a little bit hard to lock him down, but potentially could try to force out something like a flash if you so choose, but I wouldn't be surprised to see Wei just kind of keep clearing on in his jungle.
Yeah, Q-Span keeps going in. Top lane farm lead, very good though for Hanabi right now. And at this point, he's probably got enough money to buy Sheen whenever he does go back to base. Probably gonna keep the advantage as long as he can. He's got plenty of mana, he's comfortable, he's still got biscuits to chew through. But Wei, he's on the way over. Control ward down, Xiaohu pretty close to Meganar, gonna get the double hop, and it's gonna force the flash. How about the binding though? Orange is eaten, 80 health gained, walking away, stays alive. But Hanabi, yeah, loses a lot, but Wei flashed for it, so trade of summoners.
Yeah, so now, you know, if we want to see RNG truly benefit off this, we need to see a repeat play. We need to see a punish coming out from the side of RNG. GP is actually a very vulnerable champion, very easy to gank or dive, especially now that he doesn't have that flash up. If RNG can properly find a time to channel way back towards that top side, they should be able to pull it off. But on the opposite side of the map, we already see some counter jungling come out from River.
Ball spots River, and is exactly where he was going to be. It's still one camp taken, and Cryan might have to flash get away, because how are you getting out of this one? Debbie's gonna land there saving. Oh, he sidesteps it! He would have died, and instead, Wei, does he have the damage? Debbie's up soon. Auto attack doesn't kill River. Just barely lives. Turtle stance just coming back now. Oh, I can't believe both of them lived.
Yeah, true, and you know, it kind of sucks right after talking about Wei's flash, now seeing the fruits of him not having it up, not able to finish off the kill on River, but still, he'll take that any day of the week. Cryan doesn't even have to flash away to live. Really doing a good job of having the calm and the patience not to go ahead of that one. We are going to see both supports try to help reset the waves, so both mid laners can reset.
Almost killable.
Yeah, you can tell Maple wants to do too.
Really
knowing
does.
the type of player Maple, ooh, just going to clear the wave,
Yeah.
but I want to see the ult in return. I want to see Maple say hello back.
Okay, Doggo, he has rocket jump. So long as you play it right, you're going to be okay. There's the jump. Flashes because he knows the binding is coming. Maybe could have walked more first, but I think he was probably flashed down regardless, so gets away. But now top lane, tired Mininar does have flash, but we've got a wave. And there's the chance for a dive. Here's the barrel, jumps away from the turret. Now there's no easy way out for Xiaohu. I don't see how you live this battle. It's going to be some damage coming across, buying time. Just buying time is all he's going for. The rest of his team is going for the dragon instead. Lives as long as he can. First blood is handed over to Hanabi, so a bit of top pressure is rewarded for PSG, but it is going to be the dragon traded back.
And plays like that are always interesting because it always comes down to, right, like, what's more valuable, the potential of being able to outplay, the potential of being able to play off human error that your enemy makes, or something like that where, hey, you bought maybe, you know, 5 to 8 seconds where your team is getting a little bit of tempo back on the map. I don't think there's a very clear right choice when we're talking about that first option, like outplay and human error, but...
While you're Mininar, good luck.
Right? It'd definitely be a tough one, but still, RNG going with the cross-map play. They do end up taking the dragon, but the thing I find most interesting about this game thus far is how much pressure waves put on the map. Ganks top, instantly into a counter gank mid, instantly into burning a flash bottom. So RNG this game being much more proactive than we've seen, honestly, all tournament.
Yeah, it's been really, really good. Obviously, in Game 3, they were handed a big summoner difference and capitalized on it, but this is true proactiveness. This is just forcing your own advantages off of playing on the map. I love to see it. Good job to Wei. He's really had some good gank pressure here. And he's now looking topside. Keep in mind, Hanabi is flashless. Hey, by the way, Meganar, so good luck with this one. Ult's gonna come down, but where are the reinforcements? Black Shield is on for good measure. Now on the bottom side, Doggo is just dead. He's caught out and gone, and Hanabi just tries to buy some time. He's warded out, though, and his days are numbered. Bind's gonna land after the stun. No way out. Xiaohu grabs the kill.
And things couldn't be worse, Freak. You're losing on both sides of the map. You're losing pretty much where you're strong and where you're weak. We see him get punished. A little bit of cheekiness there, but...
It's like everyone's got kills but me. I'm just chilling here farming.
PSG at least are going to be able to answer back with a Rift Herald. But still, now we're going to get Xiaohu up a bit in this matchup with the fact that he's a kill. We already see Gala with the CS lead also getting up in his matchup. And it just looks like he's going to get punished for, a recon.
Oh, wow.
Not really his fault. Ming with a really nice ward to set that one up. And then here, Hanabi was just overextended, didn't have flash. Really not much you can do, right? When you're in top lane and the enemy forces a wave into tower, the bounce back is going to come. Unless you can have your jungle come up and help you reset the wave, you're pretty much just dunzo.
And he was. So RNG have now tied up the gold after a incredibly lopsided laning phase. Hanabi building his own CS lead up there, and then obviously with the help he got from his team, they got the kill. And with First Blood, he looked really good, but it's starting to turn around. We are going, by the way, for damage Gangplank. It is Essence Weaver first. We will occasionally see things like Trinity Force Sterix go for a tankier build. He is going for the crit one, so that is going to be very big barrel chains. Expect to see 1100 damage or so late game. That can nearly one shot, and with Sylas it will finish the kill. So that is something to watch for sure. First Herald will put the gold lead back in PSG's favor when it's summoned.
Especially talking about that GP Sylas play, especially with the fact that, if you talk to GP players, it's much easier to, play into a team coming into you, right? Kiting back with the GP as compared to running forward, like he potentially will be doing with Maple Sylas. So if he can pull it off, or, I'd say preferably if he can find like a really sick flank where like Maple's cutting them off one side and he's coming in on the other, I think for PSG's comp, it can work out big. But the point is, right, it's definitely going to be, I'd say, harder to execute composition.
It is. The engage tools certainly exist to a certain degree, but it's Maple stealing Mega Gnar and flanking. Kaiwing, it can be tough. Rel's engage range just isn't that long. Flash W isn't bad, but it's, it's headbutt pulverize without flash is kind of that range, right? So there is a bit more reach on the other sides of the comps. Like Ming has more range than Kaiwing, for example, but if they can make it work, it can be fine. 20 CS deficit, though, on the bottom side. It's not going to come through Doggo. Rookie 80 carry stepping in for Unified, who couldn't make it. Doing reasonably well, but overall, bot lane has been a little bit RNG favored. As the squad moves top side now, Doggo shoving down the wave. They're going to be attacking top turret soon.
Yeah, and they have the Rift Herald, so they want to get some plate gold onto this GP, which again, this is a completely different plan from what we've seen from PSG every game. They are funneling their gold, they are putting their hopes onto Hanabi, this longtime player. Again, we remember him from his Flash Wolves days. It's going to be something that PSG haven't shown us quite yet.
Bind, though, is going to hit. Doggo monster shots one back, able to easily walk away from Wei, and now TP coming in without more gold. This is going to be a tough one to win. There's the Mega Gnar steal. Is there going to be a counterpunch? Cryin is out of mana, so we cannot really TP in. Doesn't find the abduct, but goes in for the ulti, goes in for the smash, and Wei's just dead under the turret. Had no way around it. Shockwave comes back in. Not also combos in. Double kill for Ming, and it's forced PSG to run away. 2-to-1 fight. A couple of plates got taken, sure, but Hanabi just gets a wave in mid and nothing else.
And once again, things actually look so good for PSG starting that one off, but Ming coming in clutch, flash dredgeline into the ultimate. And it just doesn't get any better than that for RNG. Again, sure, you see Gangplank getting some solo gold, solo plate, solo EXP in the mid lane, but on the opposite end, Gala was doing the same thing in bot. So overall, it's kind of a wash in terms of that trade, and then RNG just benefiting up in the top side.
Yeah, you look at the gold difference. Hey, it's plus 400. This is where the gold difference was before. It may be even slightly more RNG favored.
And we're going to see here it all start with a bind. We already said Wei has not been missing today. And PSG going to start it off. They're going to have numbers advantage because guess what? Cryin once again doesn't have mana, so has to go for the reset before he can look for a TP. Misses the abduct on Sylas, but guess what? Wei's in a really bad position. They die for him, and Ming coming in clutch, flash dredgeline into the ultimate. Shockwave there to follow up because Cryin comes in time. Maple does have the Gnar ultimate to push them away, but then still has to burn flash to get away.
And Doggo just didn't see it. He had flash up, but didn't see the shock, didn't see the ball, and gets caught out, and obviously shut down from that point on. RNG reset off the play. They get back to the bottom river, and bam, Drake number 2 is theirs. Reasonably early stack, on pace for about a 23-minute soul. That is very fast. So far, outstanding for RNG, wanting to close out this series. Gala, you can see, quite big. Hasn't got the same kind of damage, but the ones he's done have gotten kills.
That's true, and right, I feel like a lot of this also just comes from the fact that we just saw a lot of action happen in topside, and Gala was just chilling. Gala was just making money in the bottom lane. He's completely happy with that trade. That is why he has such a large CS advantage, and we already have more posturing. This is what we were talking about earlier coming into the game. This is where all the action will happen.
Plate number 4 taken. I believe every single one of them, maybe not the first, was solo taken by Gall. That is why he is rich. 131 farm. That one's going well. Obviously on a good power spike with Noon Quiver plus lethality. No Dragons fight for a while. Plate's down in 30 seconds. We'll see if he gets plate number 5. Might be a bit difficult. We know top lane's down to 1 plate as well, and PSG have got the matchup. Maple's now playing top side, full time, laning against Xiaohu, and that's where he wants to be.
Yeah, definitely. Really nice change-up by PSG when it comes to their lane matchups. GP's also going to be fine up against the Orianna. Sure, it can be a bit annoying, but you're still just going to farm just fine. You already have the Essence Reaver as well, so really not going to have any trouble getting that CS. Going to make his way towards the Immortal Shield Bow as we expect. And now it's just going to be about once we can start getting into, I'd say, a true 1-3-1, which is probably going to be soon. We already see that RNG are very close to taking this bot lane turret. And then seeing if PSG can find some of those picks, if Maple can find a lot of those engages with the Gnar ultimate, as you've talked about. And especially if, you know, kind of the combo comes in, like Rel ultimate, Maple flank on top of the Cannon Barrage.
Yeah, there is a lot of lockdown CC. Mega Gnar Rel ult, GP over the top, like that is going to kill 3 people. You know, the blink of an eye. The tools there are gonna be there. Maple's got pretty decent gold income. GP, right, if he crits, he's already on 1 item. Like, that is always available. I think PSG always have a way back into this one. Again, they are slightly behind. Gold equal, but down 2 Drakes. I would favor RNG. Maybe it's like 60-40 on just the top scoreboard. It's obviously, though, very, very close, and you've got to play the game out at this point. PSG's backs, though, are against the wall, and they've got to find their way in. Chem Tank done for River. See if you can find that next move.
Yeah, and right now we see RNG going for the Rift Herald. It looks like for the side of PSG, they just want to cross map. They're going to go towards the bottom lane. Ooh, Maple feeling the heat.
Yeah, Anchor doesn't land. Of course, he's, you know, jumps away in time. Hex Flash makes the range a bit shorter, makes it a bit easier to deal with. And now TP burn to get away. But can they stop? Yes, they can stop it. And there is absolutely no way to live. Xiaohu tried to TP out of the 1v3. Not going to happen. Turret still drops. RNG gets first turret in the top lane. That gold all goes to Gala. That man is getting rich. Herald summon in mid. GP can clear the wave, but the turret is maybe, it's going to live actually, just barely. It's going to be real low. Can they finish the kill? They're going to try. Not going to get it yet.
Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't feel confident in walking up. They know the other members are either coming from Botside River or coming back from base, but this will give them slightly better tempo coming onto the map. I do think Xiaohu just got punished when, realistically, he probably should have just backed off and not died. He knew that, you know, they were cross-mapping, so he should expect the members from PSG coming down, maybe thinking, hey, it's better that I buy time, maybe we can get 2 turrets on the opposite side of the map. It actually doesn't matter too much if I die right now in the grand scheme of things, because we already have Rift Herald and there's no dragon up.
Sure.
But still, it's going to be at least a nice bit of gold for the side of PSG.
Yes.
But at the same time, RNG got even more gold, so better luck next time.
Yeah, well, it's interesting, right? Because at the end of the day, at least mid turret didn't die all the way. First turret gold itself is only plus 150, so not a massive swing. And okay, Gangplank cheats. To be clear,
True.
Gangplank cheats and gets free money. But, you know, hold the scoreboard. There was a gold lead for PSG Talon. Up until just now, there was a gold lead for PSG Talon. And normally they have been the ones falling behind in the mid game. So I am at least seeing good signs of life. Hey, Mabel's gonna knock this one down. You can see the gold, 2K in the top side. That's great. Mid lane, pretty close between the two of them in the first place there as well. So PSG holding a small gold lead, this is better than most of the mid games have been.
I mean, and the thing as well, right, is that when you have a composition with a champion like Sylas, there's always a tool to punish an enemy mistake, to find a flank, to come off on a side lane, to one-shot an enemy carry and bring your team back into the game as the game progresses and as you scale better. So I definitely think PSG will never really be out of this game, you know, barring like a 15K gold lead is...
Oh, Xiaohu, big damage. Orange is eaten just to buy some time, but now, how about the way out? I believe Hop should be back up in time to do anything special. The whole squad's coming down to the bottom jungle as the dragon spawns in 10 seconds. RNG, they're gonna be back to Mid-Gnar pretty soon. But the important thing is the Rel engage. It finds only the support, pulls back in on the way. Shockwave catches 3! That is what they wanted, and there's no way out. Maple's Mega Gnar catches absolutely nothing. Barrel Chain doesn't have the follow-up to do a single thing, and Hanabi is just going to drop. He finds himself a single kill, trades his life back out for it, and RNG win a crucial team fight here in Game 4.
And nice realization by RNG, realizing, hey, Kaiwing comes in. He's really only locked Ming down. We see the Black Shield come out from Wei, and they realize they can instantly turn and delete the members from PSG. Hanabi also didn't have the cannon barrage at the time, so not even able to throw that one in and layer on some damage. In the meantime, we're going to get the full replay again. RNG trying to control vision in the enemy jungle. There we see the engage coming out from Kaiwing. Sure, he locks down Ming, but really nice shockwave coming out from trying to get numerous members down. We see the stopwatch coming out from Maple. He still is going to go down in the end to Gala, and then Hanabi going, hey, you know, I can pick one up in return. He's going to get Ming, but at the same time, you are going down. But hey, he got a shutdown, so that's some more money.
It is. He got the 2-kill shutdown off of the Nautilus, who got the double kill back in the top lane fight a while back away. But yes, we get an exciting banger. Thank you, Akriv. Probably pronounced that wrong. Whatever. Who cares? I was going to say archive. I'm like, wait, no, that's not how that word is spelled. Either way, yes, it is a banger. And RNG, to be clear, though, are one dragon away from an Infernal Soul. They are up 900 gold. They are certainly favored, but this game is not over yet.
Oh, definitely not. And again, I think the fact that PSG did win one game in such a commanding fashion, the fact that PSG did win a game against them in the Rumble stage, the fact that the other game PSG were winning for a large majority of that game shows that PSG Talon are definitely a team that can come to fight. I wouldn't be surprised if this series goes for a 5th game and PSG can claw this back. But RNG are definitely making this increasingly difficult. But I like the way that Maple is playing around threatening this potential flank. They know where Krine is. He's catching a wave topside. There's no TP on him. They should know there's no TP on Xiaohu as well. So this could be PSG's time to try to force something aggressive if they see an opportunity presented by RNG.
It's going to be tough. The problem is Tristana not on 2 items yet. Doggo basically a full completed item behind Gala. He is going to be the man of the match. He's the beneficiary of all the turret pressure, of almost all the kills. That is the big difference. So cool. Baron is alive. And they're going to try right away because of how big the AD carry is. They're just going to force it down right away. Blue Trinket force, River can walk over, but they're not stopping. RNG, can they get this fight? And can they get the Baron? G-Built buys a bit of damage, and Locket helps them survive, but Wei is at half health. Baron helped. PSG would have loved to have found their way into the fight, but they can't. RNG walk out.
Yeah, also a bit unfortunate that Xiaohu has to make his way around from so far, because I feel like if you're threatening on the pit and PSG do come closer when they are, you know, layering down that cannon barrage, even then Xiaohu can potentially find a way onto PSG. So kind of a bit unfortunate for both sides as PSG you don't get to really threaten the Baron play from RNG. And as RNG, you aren't able to find a turn. So yeah, a lot of nothing happening. Still, you did take away the cannon barrage and you didn't really lose anything. Xiaohu's ultimate going to be up soon as well. So you could even try to threaten that play again.
Oh, River gonna go ahead and just knock down top scuttle, no problem. Wei can walk around. Yeah, okay. Smites just to make sure it's not gonna be dangerous. Didn't have any ward coverage. River wanted to get out of there as soon as possible. Ultimately gets vision to make sure that a Baron sneak is very unlikely. If there's a blast plant, it's still possible, but Kai'Sa without a blast plant cannot get in without flashing. So, okay, they walk over, control ward down. Ming's like, yep, I got a couple of wards. We can spot the movements over. Those 2 wards are very, very good at tracking the Baron movements, so not going to be a problem. Also, crucially, that ward on the right is roughly out of sweeper range, but the control ward's not, so Hanabi's still going to turn off that vision.
Yeah, and you know, we could now see RNG trying to find a way to force picks. They do have TP, double TP up. It looks like Krine's actually is just coming up now, so you could just have them both split push inside lanes, try to force out a TP if your team then threatens the Baron. Again, with that item advantage you already talked about coming out for Gala, I feel like RNG should still squarely be favored in fights. Still though, 2-item Gangplank is nothing to scoff at, and we have Everfrost on Maple as well, so potentially if one member of RNG walks too far forward, you can catch them out with Everfrost. They can be instantly deleted, but yeah, RNG, I'd like to see them utilize the fact that they do have a TP advantage for now over Hanabi, who will be up soon.
That's going to be important to watch for sure. It's going to be up in time for Dragon in a minute 10, but not for this Baron. Thankfully, this Dead Scuttle is doing a lot of work at making this still safe. Once again, the wards come over the wall from Ming. Not able to get them quite as deep as last time because they don't quite have the coverage. Overall, though, they can still spot the route in. There's no Baron sneak available. Dragon up in 50 seconds. Cryan pushing in the top side. Xiaohu has recalled for Dead Man's Plate. That power spike is in. Anchor's going to land max range, but maybe more than Ming wanted. He's going to find himself stunned up. Decent damage. Black Shield on to make sure he can't get re-engaged upon. But this means PSG are feeling reasonably comfortable. Cryan is going to TP down early. Doesn't want to do it late. He's got the wave shove. That's enough. He's not going to hit top lane tier 2. So why bother going any later? A little bit of gold and XP income for the AD carry as PSG can once again try to push down mid, but the important thing is bottom river control. PSG Talon cannot afford to give away the Infernal Dragon, as RNG would get sold.
Yeah, and I like that PSG Talon have kept Hanabi with him the whole time, right? He didn't have TP before as he gets engaged on.
Big play, and Hanabi's so low on health, gets the shields popped. He's going to barely stay alive. One more auto would kill him. Thankfully, Shieldbo keeps him up, but now how do you win this battle anymore? He's got TP, he's got Cannon Barrage. As soon as he recalls, your timing is very, very short. Dragon started. They've got to find a way to engage. Xiaohu, crucially, is Meganar. Can they get the steal? Oh, they're going to zone them out with the ulti. And that means, yes, the TP comes across, and that early damage didn't matter. Smite fight! It is picked up. That is crucial. Meganar into the wall, finds 3. Shockwave buys time, but Ming is down. Is the re-engage good? 2 for 0 to Doggo. Rocket jump. Zonius brings him to safety, but a great shot by Cryan turns it back. Xiaohu has 3 HP, but Gala is full health. Gala can fight 4 by himself, and Cryan's here for reinforcements. Hanabi needs the Q. He's trying to catch up to the guy. He can't quite make it. Gala is now here. Can he land it? No, he can't. Xiaohu is on the way out. The team fight victory is +1 for PSG. The Dragon, +1 for PSG. I can't believe Xiaohu just lived, but they got away with it.
Yeah, I mean, the timing of it all was what was so perfect to me, because we see Cannon Barrage come out as Xiaohu's Meganar is timing out, so it's very awkward. You're in a super weird position as RNG where, like, we can't really stand through this damage. We can't even find the engage, really, because our Gnar is about to become useless. And on top of that, River gets the steal. So it's, you got absolutely everything you wanted and more, and now we're at a place where gold's almost even, but we're going to see here, right? They're zoned out. Xiaohu has no more Meganar. We're going to see Maple going really nice draw engage coming out from Kailing as well. Doggo over the wall, able to output free damage. Hanabi forces Cryan to flash over the wall. Doggo, as always, aggressively rocket jumping forward, gets taken down by Cryan. And like you said, I'm a bit surprised that Xiaohu was able to live, but in the end does get out of the way. And we're once again gold completely even, and
nice.
Both teams having their chances. Still RNG on Soul Point is a lot of pressure on the side of PSG. And
that was your new Axe Effect replay. And honestly, yeah, huge turning point possibly in this game. It at least delays Dragon Soul 5 minutes, but again, it was gold positive for PSG, so if they can turn this into a bit more, that is going to be big. Zonia's, of course, done for Maple. We're on 2.5 items there on Cryan's side. Merlanomicon fully done. And now we play for the top river. We play around Baron. It's 3 minutes until Dragon comes back. PSG going to consistently have to play around that objective. A nice little bit of attempted damage there. Wei gets rid of the blast plant as well. And PSG can only clear the mid lane. Top river, though, it owns, well, it belongs to, I should say, RNG. By not going to land, but they are trying to take control of that side.
Yeah, but I feel like one thing that's nice is PSG doing a nice show of control on the side lane. This is something we talked about earlier, so it's going to feel very good against Gnar. Especially with the fact that, right, he's just indexed into armor, Dead Man's Plate, and the plated steel cap, so Maple's zoning him off from that wave. PSG Talon push in that bottom wave, so at least RNG losing out on pressure somewhere on the map, but they have been doing a nice job of controlling mid wave.
Oh, Hex Flash over the wall. Ming nearly lands the Q. They find a bind on Arel, though. She can't get Aftershock easily by herself and just goes down. There wasn't a good way out. Didn't have Flash. Did not have a way to live. Great setup by Wei. Great follow through by Cryan. And now suddenly, without a good engage tool, without a good tank, you've got to face check into this Baron. Now you see them hitting it now. You can walk in. Maple does have Meganar, but it is a 4v5 that you must take.
I'm really scared, though, Free, because they're funneling in, like you said, Meganar and Cannon Barrage.
Hits him into the wall. Big damage. Barrel Chain does not crit, but the re-engage is not enough. Knocked into the air. Zonia's early force. How big is it going to be, though? Tries, but it's not going to be enough damage. Doggo gets 1k shutdown. He took down Gala. He flashed to safety. The rookie substitute, and he gets pushed back. And he nearly had it. He nearly had it, but a triple kill saves the entire series.
He's a rookie and a substitute freak. He should not be allowed to do this. He almost completely turns it around on RNG. And RNG overall, like, they had the right idea, right? It didn't look like they were going to commit to the Baron fully, but still. Let's take a look once again. They didn't commit to the Baron fully, but Doggo on the opposite end. Hanabi's getting taken down, and RNG overall just dismantling the fight, but this Tristana's just allowed to free hit. There's nothing else you can do.
In the back half, what is this? Is this Rocket Jump gets turned around by Meganar? No, he went for it. Yeah. I mean, he nearly got it. That was okay. That is one of the smartest plays I've ever seen. If he got lucky with like one more crit, he was fine, because the ult stacks Buster Shot, and he almost blew them all at the same time with explosive charge. So nearly was that a pentakill in a 1v3.
Yeah, that would have been absolutely insane. And again, just stressing overall in this pressure where if he loses this game, his team goes home. That is it. The fact that he realizes, hey, I have this moment where I can step up, I can take over the game, and he went for it is so critical. And now you look at items, and you know, he's completely back in this game. He's actually pretty much on the same items as...
Good. Don't GA. It's wrong. Oh, no. I really don't like GA here. I really think he needs to be the damage dealer. I think he really needs IE and just to hit frontline. I know it's judgment call. I know he has to be afraid of, like, what a Mega Gnar dive looks like, but I'm not a big Guardian Angel fan here. Going Last Whisper for frontline damage. Okay, sure, I see that.
Oh, he changed back.
Wow, he's really not sure what he wants. Okay. BF Sword plus Lord Dominix. I like that one actually a lot more. That is frontline damage. That is the build he wants to go for. So we are onto the Rift, and now it's time to focus about the gameplay we're actually going to be seeing here.
Yeah, and again, it's Dragon is up. Xiaohu has Mega Gnar. It feels like, once again, Cannon Barrage can be the tool that changes his fight to zone them off.
Ult hits River. He can't get the steal. That is Dragon, Soul picked up, but the team fight is positioning good. Ming's at half health. Going for the dive is Rel. They find Wei. They find good damage. Hanabi finds the first kill. 5v4 chase should be easier. Frontline's still pretty tanky, but be careful. Dissonance, of course, decent damage. The Infernal stacked back up. They're ready to deal the next bit of burst damage, but it is a 5v4 with no jungler, which means it's time for Baron.
Yeah, PSG, I think, should be able to secure this one. I doubt RNG will even contest. We see Xiaohu already split pushing in the bottom half of the map. As RNG, you can potentially try and be cheeky if you want and, you know, throw out maybe a Shockwave to steal, but you're right. RNG actually want to contest.
He can try to zone Gnar. He's got to be careful because he's in a 1v4, but this could be the fight. This is climactic here. 4v5. Smite only on one side. Is Shockwave big? Is Mega Gnar showing up? The Smite lands against Shockwave. First zone uses pop. Ming's going to stay alive, but they have shut down Udyr already. 4v4 team fight, but Doggo is alive. Rocket jumps away from Xiaohu, but Hanabi's at 1 HP. Mega Gnar hits, but it does not catch Gala. It's the battle of the AD carries, and Xiaohu cannot get away. Flip back comes in. Another triple kill comes across. Kill credit actually goes over to Kaiwing. RNG went for the play, but they do not win the fight.
That's the thing, right? RNG went for the flip. It was always going to be a gamble. Close, but no chance for Wei right there. It was always going to be a gamble for the side of RNG. They went for it. They lose out. We are going to see here, right? The only way you have of really taking this is with that Shockwave. Sadly for RNG at least, that River does pull that one out. Right here was where I thought maybe RNG can pull it off, because we see Gala go right into Doggo, uses the Buster Shot, gets over the wall, and then Maple coming in with this massive Gnar ultimate, gives Doggo the safety to jump back in, and it feels like in terms of team fighting right now, PSG are squarely the winners.
Okay. We are back onto the game. Of course, the Infernal Soul is permanent. That's obviously a big deal. That matters for RNG. But this Red Bull Baron power play has meant so much. It's not just the Baron buff you can use for about 2 minutes. It's the kills you got, the extra golden XP you gained. Sure, RNG has the permanent kind of Sheen proc, but PSG all just gained 300 gold and half a level of XP. Even after Baron falls off, there is still a permanent component to that buff. It is a very close game.
And we need to remember, right, that, again, Doggo's at the point where he's big. He's definitely shredding the RNG front line more so than Gala is doing, vice versa. Maple's putting a ton of threat from all these weird angles, the flanks, the engages that he's pulling off. Gala and Krine always have to be very concerned about their positioning. And it's pretty much all up to Xiaohu or Ming finding a big play onto Doggo to set up a teamfight victory, but Doggo's been positioning very cautiously until his team sets him up to jump in and find a lot of those resets.
He's been great. Does go GA fourth, but I like that he got Lord Dominix because those team fights were so close in damage. If he did not have that, those fights would have been different. I'm so glad he went for the damage build. You can see the gold lead right now looking pretty good. Baron timing out in 45 seconds. That kind of poke. Infernal Soul plus Kaiser W. Yeah, that is a third of Doggo's health, but thankfully, he's got some lifesteal, he's got some Omnivamp, he's gonna be okay, and it's time to keep pushing. There's not a lot of defense in this bottom lane. This turret should be losing a lot of its health fast.
Yeah, and you know, RNG at least should be safe from dives. They already have multiple members here. River still trying to find something. RNG ultimately just gonna back off, and if you look on the opposite side of the minimap, Krine is actually split pushing in topside, so trying to spread PSG thin, trying to pull them apart so they can't really get the pressure they need.
Yeah.
And I mean, we know where our eyes are going, right? 2 minutes and 24 seconds until this Elder Drake. Probably all gonna come down to one team fight at this point.
It's gonna come down to Smite contest, and honestly, when the Smites are there, Rivers has been better. Wei has won when no one's around. Rocket jumps in, but he's just gonna lose the Guardian Angel, or will he? The man can't die. die. Okay, Shockwave catches 2 again, and we've got a mini Nart coming around in a second as well. The champions are back. Maple will not lose his life. Finally drops down, but Doggo and Kaiwing are alive. Problem is, Meganar is not to be stopped. They will get the chase down kill. Doggo can only attack some wards. Stopwatch used to buy 2 seconds. Oh, he nearly kills off Wei. But I don't believe ever did Doggo think he could win against Meganar, and never went for the fight. Not sure that was true. Overall team fight, though, +1 to RNG.
I just don't know if I've ever seen a team fight start out with a Tristana jumping into an enemy team where pretty much everyone's on 3 to 4 items.
You don't watch LCS enough, then.
Okay. Well, that's the advertisement we needed. Doggo jumping in, gets instantly hooked. I'm wondering if they wanted to bait them into the fight knowing he had the GA, so that's why he did go for this. It does actually look like it's going decently for PSG at first. Doggo has to flash away. It's going to end up being a 2 for 2 left overall. But like you said, it looks like Doggo respecting the power of Xiaohu too much. Maybe realizing that, hey, he is the ultimate. I can't win out in this fight. He sees me down, and I will just instantly go down. But we're still where we've pretty much been, right? Sure, PSG is a bit of a gold lead, but we have Dragon Soul on the opposite side, and it feels like the teams are still very even in power.
Yeah, you have to functionally attribute Dragon Soul to some amount of gold. And it's just damage, right? It's virtually a free sheen on every champion, which is roughly 700 gold per champ. Yeah, that's not the exact math, but that's roughly where you live, which means, hey, it's somewhere in the ballpark of 3.5k, which is, hey, roughly the gold lead here. So the scoreboard, I feel like, looks remotely equal. It looks fairly equal. And so PSG, can they make the big plays? Can they make it happen now? Because RNG, they own the bottom river. Dragon's up in 23 seconds. Elder Dragon is a game-winning kind of buff. You almost always close the game out with it, and RNG own the tools to make the way in.
And I feel like a massive thing, right, is now Doggo has no GA and he has no flash up. So this could be one of RNG's best chances of finding a fight. Both of Gala's summoners are up. Kryne is flash up as well. So RNG's squarely in the summoner spell kind of favor in this fight.
Xiaohu almost at Meganar right there. You can see him spotting again in mid lane. As soon as he attacks the Elder Dragon, that's going to tie him up all the way, and he's going to have Meganar available. River sitting there by the blast line, wants to go in, going to get stunned up though. What's the engage going to look like? They just shut down the jungler, but is the re-engage going to look good? Right over the top, Gala is attacked and shut down, but is Elder Dragon enough? That is the question. Meganar hits the wall, Shockwave back in, the shutdown comes across, Ming is low, but there aren't enough teammates left for PSG. They all just live on RNG's side, and that might just be it.
And RNG find the crucial pick on the river. That's what they needed to confirm that they would get this Elder Drake. And you're right, death timers are so long, RNG can just funnel through mid lane. And you know, RNG were the expected favorites, but they showed up strong, and Gala and Ming once again popping off.
Absolutely beautiful set of games here. Good to see signs of life for PSG Talon, but sadly they will not break the curse of the LMS or the curse of the PCS. They will still go without a win in the best of fives. RNG are headed to the finals, waiting for their opponent on Sunday. Can they win their second ever international trophy?
That game was something else. From the almost penta from Doggo, from RNG having like a pretty solid early game this time around, to going all the way to Elder Drake. I feel like we've seen a lot of different dimensions from RNG in this tournament. The fact that they've pulled out this new strategy, they've relied on their team fighting. I feel like they can feel very good about going towards the final.
Yeah, they can. Overall, some really, really nice plays. RNG, I think we expected them to be the favorites. I think 3-1 was honestly the median expectation of